What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, season 16 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So now I have to really explain. I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, there's so many people who are not watching this season. So I'm really going to have to explain what is happening in this because there's new people and y'all don't know who these new people are. So I might put their faces up. The only person that did not get a I feel like the only person that didn't get like an intro, maybe they'll do it next week, was Brittany. It's Brittany and Kelly and Shamia. Goes from a friend to a full time. Drew is still there. Kelly, Porsha, Brittany, Cynthia is a friend. Kenya looks like they're making her a friend. And then when I look at the women, all of the women, I feel like Kenya and Cynthia would be out of place in these group of women. I feel like Kelly would work in like with Cynthia, and I feel like Kelly would work with Cynthia, Kenya, and the older crew. I feel like Kelly would work. I don't feel like Brittany Edie would work. Porsha, Shamia, I know that people are really excited about her home and the amount of wealth she has in her marriage. But I find Shamia extremely cringy and corny. I feel like she's a tryhard who just does a little bit too much. I feel like it's just a little bit like it's too like you added too much to that. Like it's just too much. And I think she's excited to be a full-time housewife. I think she's excited. It's coming out in the way that she's expressing herself. She's really excited. And I am in agreement that showing her home like that is that's what we want to see. That's exactly what we want to see. I love that everybody was so amazed with her home, especially when they walked upstairs. Everybody was like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" They were really excited about that upstairs when they went upstairs later in Shamia's home. So this is season 16. It was a lot of chatter and conversation all day yesterday and leading up to the season premiere. I saw that they got the keys to the city, and I think that that was a flop. Sorry. If any time you were to have given the Real Housewives of Atlanta the key to the city, it would have been season 7. It would have been Nene would have been there, Kenya would have been there, Candy, Atlanta Sweetheart would have been there, Porsha would have been there, and who else? Cynthia. These new girls getting the key to the city, and we don't even know who are y'all. You understand what I'm saying? So overall, the episode, I give it like a 8. I was paying attention, and I wanted to see what was going on. Um, they start with Porsha. I was like, when did Porsha start running anywhere? Girl, she don't even look like the way she took off. I was like, Porsha, that was the only time she's run this entire season. I'm sure we're not going to see Porsha run again, getting ready with her. I was like, girl, give me a break. The way that they did the intro, I thought was cute with their names and stuff like that. I do not like the confessional looks. I don't like that like wait. I feel like it's a wasted space and them sitting in that chair. They did Dubai like that. I don't like it. Just give us a waist or chest to. We don't need to see. I guess they want to see their outfits. I guess that's what it is. Um, but I feel like all that wasted space is just a wasted space. So we start off with Porsha. Now, Porsha and the storyline, I don't believe any of it. Everything that Porsha says about the way she quote felt for Simon, I don't believe it. I do not believe it. I do not believe it. I do not. The tears, I do not believe it. The tears are fake. Everything again, people want to give Porsha chances, but she's already. It's just like everything that you're saying and acting like you were really delusional and didn't know and didn't understand, and you cannot play this game like that and keep playing this game. Your puddles will allow you to play the game, but I'm not. I'm not going to allow it down here. So they start off with Porsha. there's not always a fairy tale ending, and there's no way anybody thought that that was that's what I said. She said there's not always a fairy tale ending. I said there's no way anybody thought that that was a perfect couple. None of it is real. What the fuck are you guys talking about? This is fucking weird. I don't give a fuck about none of these fucking weird ass tears. Bitch, get your fake ass out of here. I don't care about this fucking story. I was talking and to text. I don't like the story, the fairy tale, and what Porsha thought she was getting into. Just, and that's why I'm already here for Kelly, because girl, you're every time you sit down, bitch. Why did you walk out of that lady's house with her husband and Hennessy? Shout out to Rodney, the voice. Why did you do that? And then why did you think you were going to be able to sustain a relationship with him? Why are you acting like you didn't know you were traveling the world on scammer money? Like I'm not buying it. And I'm not, and I, aren't y'all tired of Porsha coming on your screen, playing in your faces, and not like actually like being forthright with what's going on? And talk and acting like you were really in love, and like that's, it's stupid. It's so stupid. It is really stupid. Shamia goes into her house. Now, Shamia's house is $9 million. I was like, that house is huge, especially in Atlanta. And it was like one of the second most costly, pricey homes and sold the year that she bought hers. $9 million. How many square feet did they say it was? I couldn't remember. Um, she has a couple of elevators in her house, honey. I said, I know that's right. She's trying to still grow her family. She has a 5-year old and a 15-month old. Her 15-month-old was premature and had to have some surgeries. I don't know what's going on with the baby, but they have nurses around the clock. They said that she used the same surrogate that Candy used, but the surrogate had a health emergency, and so they had to deliver early, and the baby came out with complications. So, but she wants to continue to grow her family. Um, she's been with Gerald for 10 years. And I guess she's like long winded because the producer was like, can you make this short? So she talks for 5 minutes. She tells this story that is just too much. It's almost like Shamia does like the, the story that she told about going to his home and blowing up the bathroom. I don't know if I would have shared that story. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not sure why Shamia would share that story and then like really be like, that's the way to get him, girls. Go to his house and shit in his house. And I was just like, what? And that's what I mean. Like Shamia's corny, like a try hard almost. And it's almost like, I don't know. I don't, it's something, it's like, it's like goofy to me. I don't know what it is about Shamia. It's just like goofy. I don't know what it is. And then how she sticks up for Porsha. That's why everybody says you were her lapdog, because the way that she treats you and the way that you protect her is lopsided. And I'm really glad they're going to get into their relationship this season, because Porsha's showing up late and intent, like knowing what time your friend's party starts and then coming late and then pulling up when she's getting her gift and kind of taking the focus off of her and putting it on you is very Porsha. And it's very indicative of their relationship from what the evidence that I've seen, that I've witnessed, that I've heard about Porsha and Shamia's relationship. It's unfortunate that, okay, you've had a friend this long and you're damn near sisters, but it's possible and it's not unheard of that someone really close to you is actually envious of you. And I feel like Porsha, just as her personality, she has an envious spirit. Like she feels like what other people have, she should have it too. That's the reason why she went to the village whore hot dog man and had a baby by the village slut. Like him and Jock running Atlanta with their dick. Everybody is sitting on their dick and doing a full fucking split. You understand what I'm saying? And so you went out just because your sister had a baby, you went out and had a baby with any old motherfucker who will do. And then trying to modify and act like because you're his baby mama that he needs to act a certain way. You're both the same. Like I've been saying that about Dennis and Porsha. Like it was two village idiot and the village whore getting together and having children. But the village idiot is still an idiot and wants to be able to monitor and tell the village whore how to move around. I hope that Drew is fucking Dennis. I hope she is. I hope she is. Because, bitch, how the fuck you gonna walk in Fallon's house and leave with her husband, but Drew can't walk into your house and you see something? You don't see nothing wrong with what you did, but it would be wrong if Drew did it. And I need for Kelly to explain to Shamia, bitch, if we just met, right? We cool, we just met, we about a year into our relationship. How would you like it if when you and your husband break up, or not even break up, I start fucking with your husband? Y'all are on the way out. How would you feel about that? Well, y'all weren't together. See that kind of defending Porsha? And like Shamia, you come off less than smart when you defend the village idiot. Why are you defending it? You know it's wrong. If it was done to you, you would know it's wrong. But I feel like Shamia and Porsha were just running around Atlanta trying to figure it out. You understand what I'm saying? And Shamia lucked up with this man. She literally lucked up with this man who has his $1 million business and fortune from installing HVACs. Girl, HVAC systems in airports. That's where he got his money from. And that is, to me, I was like, when they said that, I was like, yes, Shamia, because he is not a public figure. He's not in entertainment. He's not sweating for his money under bright lights. You get these niggas who sweat for money under bright lights, those are not men you want to build with at all. Because when they, I don't know, I'm just saying that there's too much access to them. He's too out in the open under the lights sweating for the money. So he has too much access to people. Gerald is just in somebody's fucking vent. And I'm sure it's not him doing it at all. Because if you that paid, you not doing nothing. He's not sweating for his money. You understand me? That's what I'm talking about. You don't have to be a public figure in order to be wealthy. And I love that Shamia is married to a man who is not a public figure. He's not on anybody's television screen. He's not a media personality. He's not in the arts in any way, whether it be sports, entertainment, whatever the fuck, music, whatever. He's not entertaining anybody. I love it. I love it. She says she's known Porsha for decades. And she explains the connections in the group and how everybody knows each other. And she says she's the glue in the group. Drew says her and Ralph, I was like, what is his fucking name? Her and Ralph, they've been divorced for a year, or it's been a year and they're still going through their divorce. And Kenya comes over her house and she shares with her that Ralph has been banished to the basement. Kenya said, not banished to the basement. And you see at that party, at Shamia's party, you see how Kenya was moving around with the laughter and saying things to people and doing things. She knows how to keep the scene going. Kenya did it on purpose. She did it on purpose. Hugged everybody and did not hug Brittany. And I can't believe Brittany's so thirsty. She came and was like, you didn't hug me earlier. Bitch, please. I would have never. I was like, girl, did she just say that? So Kenya already knew. As soon as you walked up to Kenya and told her, you didn't hug me, Kenya was like, oh, I only hugged Cynthia because she's my best friend. Girl, you know you hugged everybody but that girl, and you did it on purpose. We know you miss Kenya more. And we could call you out, girl. You did that on purpose, but that's a way to keep the scene going. And girl, she came up to her and really asked her, like, you didn't hug me, girl. That was weird. Anyways, so they're sitting at Drew's table, and Drew is sharing with us that her and Ralph use an app through the court system, and he likes to fight in this app and argue with her in this app. It can be used as court documents. So she just lets him go, I guess. She mentions, I don't know what they were talking about, but she mentions that she's from Detroit. No, she's from Chicago, and that Dennis is, no, Kenya goes, you know, I'm from Detroit. Yeah. And she was like, oh, so is Dennis. And she was like, Dennis who? She was like, Porsha's Dennis. And then she says, he's shown up like an angel on earth. He was her saving grace. He's a stand-up guy. And then I said it right before Kenya said, I said, if he was such a producer, why the fuck he didn't produce Porsha? And why did they show Flatline? When I tell you, you have to be the village idiot to name a song Flatline. I don't know who wrote it for her. I know she didn't write it, but why didn't Dennis produce you with any songs or music? I wonder who was doing music that made Porsha want to do music. Was it Kim Zolciak? Was it Kenya Moore? Who what girl? I don't know. What? She says, if it's been a passion, why didn't he produce Porsha? And then they asked, did you get Porsha's blessing? I wouldn't. Let me tell you, the simple fact that Porsha married Simon the way that she did, Porsha doesn't deserve any. I don't need to go to you to ask you for a blessing and nothing. 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 Mm-mm. Nada. Nada. Um, she said he said that he got Porsha's blessing. I don't think he did. I don't think anybody gives a fuck about Porsha's blessing. So we get to Kelly. Kelly is a new girl. She is throwing a birthday party for her 17-year-old. She talks about her business. She's also a solo parent of 4. She has a 17-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a pair of twins that are 8. She'll be divorced in 2 months. So it's Porsha going through a divorce, Drew going through a divorce, Kenya going through a divorce, Kelly going through a divorce on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She says she wants to take her name back. She was married 11 years. They became complete enemies. The police were called. She opened a store called Nana's Chicken and Waffles, named after her grandmother. She has a waffle mix and she has 24K maple syrup. And that's her business. And she's doing well with her business. So she's a businesswoman, entrepreneur. Wonderful. She says with her relationship, it was mean and spiteful. Um, she gives her kids a bunch of gifts. She gives her daughter 17 handbags, little handbags. She wants to embody or be, example of a strong, independent woman. That's what she's always been exposed to, and she's ready to take her waffle empire to the next level. I feel like her coming on this show is perfect for her. Perfect. She's gonna pull a Candy, right? You have your products now that you're on this show. If people like you, they're gonna start patronizing her business and buying her waffle mix and 24K maple syrup. As long as the people like you, I like her. I like her for she's a Pisces. I like that she's forthright, and I like that she was not biting her tongue while asking those questions to Shamia, saying what she said to Shamia and saying what she said to Porsha. I'm here for it. We talk about Porsha getting a divorce in 2013 to 2024. She hasn't dealt with the emotional part. I don't think sociopath has an emotional part to deal with, but she's dealt with the logistics of it, and it just feels cold. She said that she felt that with Simon by her side, they could conquer the world. Girl, shut the fuck up. Scam the world, maybe. I don't know about conquer it, but scam it, probably so. She wants to be able, if we got a foreclosure notice, to be able to know where it came from or pay it. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about, but I felt the need to protect my assets. I envision my future, but because we bought the home 50-50, she has a right to film in the home. She didn't understand why they were standing in another line at the airport. She said, I prided ourselves on having great communication. I'm old school. I don't tell people what's going on in my house, but you can go in somebody else's house and take their man out of it, girl. I always take the high road. Her lawyer said that's the best way to do it. Don't say anything. She says, now I don't want to communicate with him at all. She says the person that I'm mourning wasn't real. I just, girl, stop. I can't. I'm not playing this game with Porsha. Brittany, we get on Brittany. Her husband is all about making sure that what? I'm that girl. She shows her a ring. She says she's an insurance agent, and we know that Brittany is really not a real legitimate insurance agent. She actually, like, I think she sells like courses and stuff like that, and you don't really get, if you go read her Google reviews, she has really bad reviews. She's not an upstanding person or a person of a high character. Her husband even looks like a little fucking puny ass shyster. I don't know about these people. We'll see. She says it gets wild, right? She goes out with Shamia, and Brittany goes out with Shamia. They don't tell a story about Brittany. Like, we found out all that about Kelly. We got an update on Porsha. We got an update on Drew, but they didn't give any backstory on Brittany. All we got out of her was she's an insurance agent. She likes to, be wild and fun and whatever. So her and Shamia and Brittany go out to dinner. Kelly tells Shamia that she's so proud and inspired by her and with her motherhood journey, with her what's going on with her baby, because baby has special needs. It's been in the hospital. Baby's getting surgeries and stuff like that. I don't know what is going on with the baby. So they talk about Shamia's party coming up. Shamia says that, it's been hard for Porsha. She's going through a divorce. She says, I know y'all probably heard about it. Brittany says, well, she'll come out on top of it. I'm sure she will. And then Kelly says, she probably shouldn't have walked in that lady's house and took her husband and her Hennessy. I wasn't mad at it. Shamia goes, whoa. And Brittany was like, ooh, ooh. The man was taken a little bit. Right. Shamia tries to say that Fallon and Simon were public about their separation. And she says, well, from the outside looking in, it looks like there was a crossover and that shit looks crazy. That's the biggest question we want to know. And like literally saying, don't you think that was a little weird that you went into her? Like, what made you? That's why I don't believe all this love bullshit and all the feelings and all. I don't believe none of that, because Porsha really truly went after Simon because Shamia had her an African. Hook me up with an African girl. Yes. And you found any damn African and went and found the one that's been scamming since you were born. And you want us to believe that you love him? Like, I cannot deal with the stupidity. I can't. I cannot deal with that. And the fact that she's not addressing, like, let's start at A, bitch. We're at the end of your marriage, but let's start at the beginning. How the fuck did you? And then who calls somebody's husband and tells them, I'm just checking on you after your divorce, girl? I don't. And that's what the girl said. Nobody's calling somebody's husband and reaching out to anybody's husband.
But keep my husband out of it.
As far as I'm concerned, they're all messy. That's what Kelly said. And then that's what I said. They should have put themselves in the situation with Shamia and asked her how would she like it if, after just meeting us for about a year or less, that we came into your home and was, dealing with your man. No, nobody. I don't understand. That's why I feel like every single person with the heartbeat that was hashtag love wins, that was promoting that marriage, that was encouraging that relationship, y'all are frauds. Y'all are fake and y'all are frauds. And it only goes to show me that people will clap and cheer for you as you are making the biggest mistake, even though they know that you got into that relationship the way that you did, and people actually standing around celebrating it. I feel like off with all of your heads. Anybody who celebrated that marriage, anybody who was a marriage warrior for Porsha and Simon, off with your head. Sorry, because you don't need your brain, obviously. Shamia wouldn't like that if somebody did that. Shamia defending Porsha is crazy. That's weird. What we see on the blogs, you can't believe the blogs. I feel obligated to have her back. Then they start talking about Drew and Ralph. And they said, through the grapevine, Drew is dating Dennis, holding hands, booed up. You can't have a problem with what Drew is doing and not have a problem with what Porsha did. Let me tell you something. When I tell you, I hope that man is sticking his Polish sausage in her fucking pussy. I hope he is. I hope Dennis is breaking Drew's fucking back on the floor of the studio, honey. I hope he is. And I hope Porsha is throwing up and sliding down the wall when she finds out. Because how the fuck are you going to do what you did, but then try to act like you have some control of over what Dennis is doing? And it really sounds like her behavior or what she was doing on that other show when she had Simon and Dennis there and was still trying to control what Dennis was doing. Porsha is so whack to me. You can't even start a new slate because she hasn't changed. How you gonna start something new with somebody who hasn't changed, girl? You gonna start new and they haven't changed? It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. They heard about Drew. Brittany says, I've heard about Drew and it's a mess. Dennis was also in Kelly's DMs. Kelly is the waffle mix queen, okay? The chicken and waffles queen. You heard Porsha call it a chicken shack later, girl. Is it any different from the hot dog stand, girl? Did you respond when you went? I went on. No, did you respond when Dennis was in Kelly's DMs? She posted a picture of her, and he was like, "Ain't no way you have 4 kids." Oh my God, she never responded. He also went on a date with Brittany and brought a diamond necklace to the date. He didn't see nothing. She said she was a video vixen at 17 years old when she was in high school. Maybe she was 18 or 19 in high school. She may not be the brightest bulb in the department store. There was no sparks, but she didn't return any gifts. So Dennis has been in contact with 2 of Porsha's co-stars. One went on a date with him, and one he hopped into their DMs. But you think that you, the village idiot, is going to monitor and put boundaries around the village whore? Girl.
Stupid.
Hang it up. Worry about Simon. Worry about Simon. Shamia and Porsha go to the strip club. I was like, it's Atlanta, I guess, but I don't know. How do y'all feel about them going to a strip club? I don't know. I guess. I was like, it's Atlanta, whatever. Simon texted Shamia the other day and told her congratulations on the peach. She shows Porsha the text message, and she says he has other things to worry about. And Shamia says, I feel like he's chasing anything that's attached to you. Porsha says, he goes down to the blogs. He's talking to my friends. He's a nightmare. And listen to this. She said, he's a nightmare. Listen to this. Let me see. I think I retweeted it. Listen to this. He's such a nightmare. This is from December 8th, 2022. Listen to this.
Like Porsha. Like that shit is not a flex to me. That motherfucking nigga is a scammer. Simon, whatever his last name is, if his name is even Simon, okay, bitch.
And then we find out he changed his name from Eeyore to Simon. Okay. Porsha has a tattoo of Eeyore back here.
If his name is even Simon, y'all praising that shit? That shit is whack. The way she got with that man is whack. And then she quit all her jobs like a fucking dummy to run around town like I tell you, Porsha acts like a bitch in survival mode. She acts like she don't have her own money. You quit all your jobs and then you start selling sheets. And then to get down the aisle with the man to be like this. She looks like a princess. But she's probably going to experience a fucking nightmare. We'll wait for the We'll wait for the YouTube video. Next time, don't get married for a check.
Porsha said Simon is a nightmare. I said, let's wait for it almost 3 years ago. It's so predictable. It doesn't take a crystal ball to see what was going to happen with that relationship. And the fact that people were cheering that bitch on down the aisle, that lets me know you bitches are dumb too. You a bunch of dumbass bitches. She tells Shamia, don't call him bro. That's Simon. She said he's trying to smear my name. And then she tells her about what Kelly asked her, like how did she get her man? She probably shouldn't have went in that lady's house and took her husband and her Hennessy. She didn't say that, but that's basically what she told her. She was like, I don't even need to know her. I don't need to know her and her chicken shack. They start talking about Drew and Dennis hanging out at the club for her birthday, and she was like, oh, another night? And she says, my jaw is on the floor. She says, this chick is she sneaking around with my child's father? She's crossing the line.
Girl, shut the fuck up.
They said that Drew is crossing the line for sneaking around with Porsha's baby daddy, the whore of Atlanta, next to Jock. Him and Jock is running Atlanta. Yep, that's what she said. She said that Drew is crossing the line. Same line you crossed with Fallon, right? Oh, they have a different relationship. I don't give a fuck. And just like these pick-me's, let me tell you something. There's no sisterhood. There's no honor amongst a pick-me. It's not. So Drew not having any honor, Porsha not having any honor, I don't give a fuck. Like I said, I hope Dennis has her up against the studio plexiglass and is breaking her back out. I hope he has her back up against the wall and is breaking her back. I hope Dennis has Drew upside down, eating her pussy while she sings. I hope that that's what's happened over there. I really do. So you can get a taste of your own medicine, you funky bitch. It's raining. Shamia sings Rain, Rain, Go Away because Shamia's having a birthday party. Shamia has a really good voice, a nice voice. Cynthia and Porsha are on FaceTime. She mentions Drew and Dennis being seen around town with each other. Cynthia's like, what? She says, oh girl, I could see you back outside. And then Porsha says outside was waiting for her. Shamia has her 42nd birthday. Her house is really, 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 really nice. Kelly comes over first. Shamia wants to talk to Kelly. She was like, thank you for coming early. So she wants to talk to Kelly about feeling uncomfortable and saying that she told Porsha what she said. And she says, oh, I hope you would have. She says, Kelly, what is it? Oh, Kelly knows what it's like to be cheated on. She was like, oh, I didn't know that there was infidelity in your marriage. And then she says, well, I don't want to be, I'm your friend. I'm Porsha's friend. I don't want to get in the middle of y'all. So if you have a question for Porsha, ask her yourself. And that's what she ends up doing later. So they ask Shamia, how did your husband acquire his wealth? And she says he has a HVAC company and he installs these systems in airports. I love it. Angela Oakley, she's been with Charles for 8 years. He's definitely, all of us know Charles Oakley is definitely a straight shooter. That nigga doesn't bite his tongue for nothing. That's why I was like, I feel like he shouldn't be on camera because ain't no telling what that nigga's gonna say. I feel like Charles Oakley, he can't. I feel like, I don't know, I don't want him on camera because I feel like he's a grouchy old man and he's just going to say anything and he's going to end up embarrassing Angela. I don't know. He just seems like a what do you call a live wire? Too much. Get him off of camera. He don't need to be on camera. He was talking about how much makeup she had on. Her wig glue started melting. I guess it was hot. Her wig glue started melting. Her wig started sliding. Oh, I said, oh no, girl. No. She came back out and had her hair like this. I guess, to cover up the area. I don't know. Cynthia looks really good. Cynthia is beautiful. Kelly was talking to Cynthia and she was saying that she wasn't shy and she was going to talk to Porsha and ask Porsha the questions. They were doing small talk in the kitchen. Drew comes in with this silver wig and this bra on and her shirt open. It was an all white party, and she came out in blue, and then she wore gold later. Drew and Angela are both from Chicago, so they were saying how they need to stick together. And Cynthia wants to talk to Drew because she tells her you have some explaining to do. I guess she's going to ask her about Dennis. I said Angela's wig was leaving, so she excused herself to get her wig together in the bathroom. Kenya arrives, hugs everyone but Brittany. Brittany was like, oh, Kelly started asking Kenya, are you still going through your divorce? Or was it Brittany? One of them asked Kenya, are you still going through your divorce? And she was like, yeah. Or Drew. One of them asked. She hugged Drew when she came up. She hugged Cynthia when she came up. She hugged Kelly when she came up. And then she was like, hey, to Brittany. You saw Brittany's arm go up. I was like, oh, girl. Go back and watch it. She was ready to hug Miss USA 1993, baby. You was ready to hug her, weren't you? Kenya did that on purpose. I know she did. So they were like saying, like, everybody's going through a divorce. And then she says, are you married or engaged? Because homegirl just had on what looked to be like an engagement ring. There was no band, right? There was no band there. So Kenya was like, are you married or engaged? And she was like, no, this is my second ring. And she was like, wait, are you married to somebody else? Because when you say this is my second wedding ring, people are thinking, okay, you've been married, you've gotten married again, right? But she was like, no. She was like, no, I'm still married to the same man. It was confusing because she didn't have her band on. She was like, are you a different guy? She was like, oh no, I thought you've been married before. She was like, a ring for the first ring, girl, an anniversary for the first ring. And then she was like, how did you meet him? And then she was like, I met him, I sold him some insurance. And then Kenya goes, oh, you are more than a good neighbor. Y'all, I don't know how they're going to do this without Kenya. I don't know. She just is that girl. I'm sorry. Shamia comes down. Jesse Wu was at the party. Shamia comes down. They're having a good time. Everybody's happy to see her. She comes out in this little blue dress or whatever she gets on the stairs as she's coming down. She wants to thank my husband. I want to thank my husband. Give my husband a, and then she goes, he's so fine. See, it's almost like she has a perfect mixture and then she just adds some more shit to it and then it becomes corny and cringy for me. That's what Shamia gives. It's like she sees that she's getting like applause for it and then she just takes it a step forward. You know, like Marlon Wayans does that too. Like the entire, if you ever seen them like on stage or they're talking or they're sharing, Marlon always comes with some extra shit. And it's just like, girl, you don't have to do all of that. And I don't know, that's for me. Like I want Shamia to have a good experience. I want her to have a good, successful first season holding a peach. But she's just a little corny for me. She is corny. I feel like Marlo would have been good in this group. I do. I feel like Marlo would have been really good in this group. And I feel like yeah, I feel like Marlo would have been good in this group. They said Kenya was standoffish. She was like, why are you worried about my band? She was nice, nasty. She was over there talking to her husband. He looks like, I don't know, he looks a little shifty to me. Sorry. Kenya was standoffish. So they said, can you go outside because Shamia's husband has a surprise for her. She comes outside. It's a car covered. And she was like, what is this? What is this? They pull it off. It's a Rolls Royce Cullinan. What is it called? Cullinan? I think that's what it's called. I'm not familiar. Like I go as far as the Ghost and the Phantom and the other one, but I guess this is new. It's $430,000, bitches. This car is $500,000, okay? And it's sitting. And then as she celebrates, she was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So Drew, everybody's doing their interviews. And girl, Cynthia goes, if I would have gotten gifts like that, I would have married, make my marriages work. I don't think Mike could afford that. And definitely Peter can't afford that. So I don't know what you're talking about, Cynthia. Drew was like, I would want one of those gifts. Everybody's just like, oh my God, they're so excited for her. It's nice. The car is big and nice, right? Porsha starts walking up. Now, they were looking for Porsha earlier. Porsha has still not made it to the party. She's late to the party. Kenya says, I gotta go, y'all. Oh, I gotta go. I gotta be somewhere in 30 minutes. So I gotta go. I'm gonna come back with the rest of the video when I come back. So I'll be right back. All right. All right, y'all. We're in the car. Let me see. Okay, we're in the car now. All right. So Porsha walks up while they are celebrating Shamia. And as she walks up, everybody is noticing, like, girl, no, she is not walking up while she is being celebrated. Like, girl, no, you are not. Like, girl. Everybody's saying that. Everybody's looking like, girl. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, Porsha. And, this just goes into the narrative that Porsha is envious of Shamia, passively aggressively showing up late to your best friend's birthday party and then walking up as she's getting this very extravagant, expensive gift from her husband, and they're celebrating, and you walk up and it's like, yeah, this is my best friend's car. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was like, okay, girl, like, back up. Okay, this is my moment. This is not your moment at all. We're not sharing this moment at all. And the way she was like trying to make it seem like, that's my best friend, I'm not gonna stay behind. That's my best friend. I'm gonna move up. I don't know where I saw it. I don't know if she said it in the thing. I think production was telling Porsha, don't walk up right now. She was like, no, that's my friend. I'm going up there. I'm going up there. So she goes over there and she looks in the car, through the car, and she tells Gerard, you did that. You did that. Right? Remember, like I'm saying, like, this is what I'm saying. This is the reason why I feel like Shamia is an enabler. We have that video of her and Shamia in the mall buying a ring for Porsha and Simon, and her like cheering it on. Stand back, stay away. It's giving stay away. What was she saying?
What is giving, Porsha?
Taken. I'm taken.
It's giving taken.
For real.
It's giving look away.
She said taken for real.
Aw, give me some.
What is it giving, Porsha? Back up, whatever they were saying. But you're enabling her in her horrible decision. I don't feel you're a good friend in that way. If I saw my friend do what Porsha did, I don't know that I could be supportive of that. Could y'all be supportive of your best friend doing what Porsha did? Okay, exactly. So I don't even know why anybody is going up for it. Shamia would not like that done to her. She would not like that. And the fact that anybody was encouraging it or supporting it, no one told Porsha, this is not a good idea. Especially when you see his wife. What did she leave with? A condo and $50,000 or $15,000? What did Fallon leave that relationship with? Nothing. If he was so rich and had all this money, why did his ex-wife leave with nothing? Like, who do you, and because her and Diane are so thirsty, like her mother, gross, vomits all over, projectile vomit. Diane is one of those women who would encourage her daughter to go and meet with R. Kelly and stay in that house for a few days. You know that Porsha stayed in that house waiting for R. Kelly. Like, you were susceptible to that kind of environment because you are so, I don't know what it is, why she's so thirsty. And you have this job on this hit television show and you quit it to, like I said, she wanted to live the hood fantasy, like running around the town on scammers' money. Like I said last night, and I said a few years ago, I can't wait till PJ gets old enough to be like, I remember that time my mom married that African man. And you see the way he's treating her, you let your daughter sit on that man's lap. When I tell you Porsha is whack to me, I like that kind of broad, I just can't, there's nothing, she doesn't have any endearing qualities about her. Being fun and bubbly, that's the extent of it. That's it. Fun and bubbly, but that bitch is psychotic. She is, I don't know, and the fact that the way that she's acting with Dennis, like you are asking Dennis not to do what? When you did what you did. And now you down here, see, I typically, I don't give a F-U-C-K, but don't have me agreeing with some man because your actions are so egregious. Like, he's right. You ran around with Simon. What the fuck? And the fact that two village whores are asking each other how to modify their behavior around town. Girl, shut up. You went in that man's house and married him, girl. Get out of here. You have no right, no room, nothing to say anything to anybody at all. I need to set my clock in here. Porsha, please. So Kenya and Cynthia, Kenya and Cynthia go off to the side in Shamia's house, and they're sitting off to the side, and they are talking about Drew and Dennis, and Kenya goes, hide your husband, hide your wives. Exactly, around these bitches, they will take pictures with you and then be plotting on taking your man. Because I feel like the way that, I feel like Porsha is envious of Shamia, but I don't feel like Shamia has her hands clean. You understand what I'm saying? Like, Shamia was encouraging and supporting her friend walking down the aisle with this man. She was in full support of it. Meanwhile, when you got married, Porsha was nowhere to be found. Porsha didn't go to Shamia's wedding because that bitch is jealous. Just how Porsha had that baby after her sister had that baby. Girl, she has that thing, like, I feel like I should have what this girl has. And you could see where she is now in this relationship. No one told her, you could have done all that with Simon and didn't marry him. Do you know that? You could have actually been still dating him. You didn't have to go and marry him. See, what happened was Simon wanted to be a socialite. So he got with Fallon thinking that the way that she looks would help push them into the Atlanta social scene. And she didn't. She just sat there like a pretty vase. That's why I call her a vase. Because Fallon gives you ghetto hood chick who falls in love with everybody, not different from Porsha, falls in love with everybody, except for she gets pregnant by everybody. Porsha does not, thankfully. But she went out and found the hot dog man and got pregnant by him and then acted like she wanted to marry him. And he has tattoos of women's names on his back. And Porsha got on a grand stage and says, I licked them while she was pregnant with her daughter. Girl.
You don't get it. You've never been married.
Yes,
when you get
and
married,
neither have you, from what you said.
A mess. So Brittany comes over to Kenya and wants to talk to her about what happened. She was like, you didn't hug me earlier. And so she goes, okay. She was like, let's go over there and talk to her. So she takes her hand and they walk over to the couch. Kelly is sitting on the couch. And when they sit down on the couch, Kenya starts talking to Kelly about what happened with Cynthia. Like, she completely ignores Brittany's request to sit down with her. But she grabs her and they take her over. Like, Kenya is a mess. She sits down with her and then she starts talking about what Kelly and Cynthia were talking about, completely ignoring Brittany. And Brittany's sitting there like, "Goop, yeah, girl. Yeah, girl." So as Kelly starts explaining what was happening at dinner the other night, Porsha walks up and she sits down. And so they were like, we need to acknowledge the elephant in the room. And that's, and to me, I think it's great because I feel like that is the reason why Porsha did not come to Atlanta for those seasons, because she didn't want to have to answer for Simon, period. So my question was, why did you take that woman's husband? She was like, is that how you begin to get to know someone? Well, bitch, that's how I know you. That's how I've seen it all over the blogs. It's hard to ignore. So why did you take that lady's husband? She said, of all the questions, do I even know you? Do I know your name? She said, girl, you know my name. You know my name. Girl, it sounds like Cardi B and Peter Gunn. Is that how you begin to get to know someone? She goes, you didn't answer the question. She was like, I spoke to you. We spoke. She was like, you're a perfect stranger. I don't even know you. I don't know nothing about you. And then she tells Brittany, is that your friend? And she was like, yeah. She was like, She was like, she's really a sweet girl. We just wanted to acknowledge the elephant in the room. And Porsha goes, I don't care anymore. Porsha still wants to avoid, like, and to me, I feel like it's so I don't like it. It's aggravating. That's exactly how I feel, aggravated, for the fact that you don't want to answer for what you did, but what you did in normal scenarios, nobody thinks that is okay. But for some reason, I guess because Porsha is slow, I don't know why people think it's okay for her to do what she did with Simon. It's not. I don't care which way you slice it. And then that's just a layer on top of all the other things she has done since we've seen Porsha on our television screens. She's really a person of low character. And I'm sorry, shout out to Carlos Harris. I'm starting to believe when he's like, she's like a sociopath. And it's so funny, over the weekend, I was watching this story about sociopaths and psychopaths. And sociopaths, because of the way it sounds, they're not always violent killers. It's really like a personality type, right? And it's weird because Porsha wants all of these adjustments made for her, and she can't do them for anybody else. And that's really lopsided in every scenario. And then she gets away. All she has to do is flash her teeth, do a little twerk, and everybody's hypnotized again. It's just like, I don't get it. And I feel like a lot of people like Porsha because she's safe. She's safe, not safe to be around, not safe to be in proximity, because she will lie on you, lie on your husband, take your husband. Girl, she's not a safe person to be around. But because she is not going to really, she can't really read. She's not really a reader. She's not very smart. You understand what I'm saying? So she's safe. The girls that are not very smart, that's not going to challenge, that's not going to come with logic, that's not going to think a little further than a little deeper than the surface level. People don't like those kind of people. People like safe, dumb people, like some dumb. Women who can't own what they're doing are a joke to me. That's how I feel. I feel just like Kelly. I don't like that. Like, you can't answer for what you did, and you sitting amongst married women. You walked into this married woman's home, introduced yourself. I feel like her and Simon already knew each other when they gave each other that fist bump. I guess they were giving fist bumps because it was COVID. I don't know. Girl, I don't believe it. So they move upstairs. Everybody is going crazy over Shamia's home. They talk about Dennis, like going out with Dennis, and Drew and Drew going out with Dennis. And she's saying, everybody was saying that they weren't invited to the surprise party that she had. And she was like, I don't know why, because I gave my assistant everybody's number, but everybody showed up. Nobody showed up except for Dennis. So Dennis set that up to be, I guess, alone with Drew, I guess. Like I said, I hope they screwing. I really do. I really hope they're screwing. I really do. And then Shamia goes, Drew, I just want to ask you, I just want to be forthright with you. Are you dating Dennis now? And then it stops, and Portia's looking like this. To me, I would be like, Porsha, you don't have nothing to say, Miss Gorbadia. Nothing. Girl, I wish the fuck I would. See, y'all don't have the right people around. I feel like y'all don't have the right people around. Because I'd be like, and if I was, would it matter? Aren't you getting a divorce from Simon? You walked into his house, right? Into Fallon's house. You knew Fallon, used to go out with Fallon. Y'all's taking pictures together, getting to know each other. And then you end up dating her husband and marrying him, girl. You can't say nothing about me and Dennis. If me and Dennis get married tomorrow, you will have nothing to say about it. And that was the end of the episode, y'all. So y'all let me know what you think. Hopefully y'all stayed engaged, and it was okay. But this thing with Porsha is really going to aggravate me. That is going to aggravate me the most. And I'm with Kelly. On it. Like, girl, I'm not here for women who can't stand in their shit. You have all this mouth for everything else. It's so weird, but when it's time to come to your stuff, you can't talk about it. I'm not here for Porsha. I will never be here for Porsha. I don't like her character, the archetype, that kind of woman, I don't gel well with. I just don't gel well. And even without the premeditated rape allegations, the lying on people, the envious BFF, situation, the what else? Not going to her best friends, like all of that. Just a dumb broad, a dumb ditzy broad. I don't, even if she's faking it. I remember this girl that used to be in a friend group that I used to be in, and she would literally play smart. She's a smart girl. She would literally play dumb, like literally play dumb and almost talk in baby talk when niggas came around, when men came around. I was like, I don't, even if it's an act, acting dumb is a violation of self. Like, I'm not acting dumb. I'm not going to act dumb. I'm not going to give an impression that I'm less than smart. That's not going to be, I will never do that. That's why I don't understand on these reality shows how, like Rashida, Yandy, doing this in the public and then like staying with your husband. Y'all are not smart. Y'all are not smart. You look dumb. And if you are doing it for a check, I don't think it's worth it. To look dumb and to be publicly humiliated for money is a new level of soul selling that I cannot get jiggy with. I just can't do it. So anyways, overall, the episode, I feel I gave it like an 8, but I'm over Porsha's not facing accountability storyline. That's her narrative. She hasn't changed. She wants everybody to behave in a certain way for her, respect her, but she can't give it back. I'm not here for it. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.